Crime Stoppers has just turned 1, and the efforts have been very, very fruitful. Here's News Channel 8's Wes Small.
Well, it's been 1 year since the inception of Crime Stoppers. It was on January the 7th of last year. Crime Stoppers just took off. And I have to tell you, I worked at Eyewitness News before in the 1980s. Crime Stoppers was a big hit then. As videotape coordinator, one of my jobs was working with the New York City detectives, and I saw progress then, and we also see progress now.
It's been an interesting year. It has been a year that has far exceeded our expectations. Never having done this before here in the territory, we really didn't know what to expect, and we were guided by nationals who advised us on, things that are being done in other areas, and also advised us on what to expect here in the territory based on what has been done in other communities about this size. And I think initially we were told that we should probably expect about an average of maybe 5 tips a week. And I'm happy to report that since our launch 1 year ago, this month, actually just a few days ago, was our launch, where we all sat in this room and discussed this exciting program. But for 2009, I'm very happy to let you guys know that we received 508 tips, which is an average of either 9 or 10 a week. So we pretty much doubled what we were told to expect.
When we do have an arrest and you write a report about it, we would hope very much that you would not mention, give Crime Stoppers specific credit for it. Many of our tipsters are extremely fearful. That's the reason why they call Crime Stoppers to begin with, of their anonymity. And their fear seems to be that if they know, if it says in there that the tip came from a Crime Stoppers tip, then they're afraid that criminal would then step up plans. That they know then that it just didn't happen.
It comes into me, what do I do with it? First and foremost, I have to make sense out of it. And there are those that come in that gives us some specific information, and I've got to be careful on how I give that information to that law enforcement agency or to VIPD detectives. I will look at it, then I will inquire from the detectives, have you any information concerning this particular incident? And if they tell me, yes, we have information, quickly I get back to Alan so that tip is closed out, so that the tipster that's calling will not have to linger and wait to see what's going on. So we try to scrutinize those tips. Now when we get the hot tip, and I'm going to tell you, there are some tips that come in that gives us the name, address, telephone number, make, model, description of vehicles, whether or not a person has dogs in the yards, whether or not a person has this in their yard, whether they have security gates. All of these things are very valuable to law enforcement because it gives the officers an idea as to what they will be confronted with when they start working this tip.
So there you have that, doing a great job with Crime Stoppers. A record amount of tips, weapons, drugs, everything coming off the street. If you need to get in touch with Crime Stoppers, don't forget 1-800-222-TIPS. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Special congratulations to Crime Stoppers. And even more congratulations is up next with the first heating class in St. Croix. The first graduating class of solar heating just walked down the aisle. Let's take a look.
We're here to celebrate with men and women who have taken a great decision to empower themselves to better service the community green technology incentives. As a department, as a group and partnerships, we are proud of you. We know that training was intensive, and I was extremely impressed of your presentation that we gave to the Assistant Secretary of the Interior. It was completely done by you.
How incredibly proud I am to see each one of you all here having successfully completed each of the steps of this program. I have been blessed to have had a calling, and that's what it is in solar. It's a calling to solar for over 30 years. Most people who, when I 30 years ago said this was my life passion, I really wanted to pursue this, so that's very interesting. How are you going to make any money? Or there was the other kind of comments that went or similarly along that line. Fascinating. But someday you'll get a real job. So it is a calling to solar. And it is an important calling. 30 years ago, I even could not quite see what the future would bring.
You are pioneers. But the reason I'm saying that, it comes down to credibility. Whether you're an employee or an owner of your company. And the reason I'm saying that, and when I made reference to the PVC, or the PVC pipe, and the cement you use, there are no shortcuts in when you're doing installation, especially when you're dealing with water. And someone mentioned the fact in terms where they want to be in repairs. You have installation and you have repairs. And they mentioned 3 parts to the process, but there's a 4th part also. Although you had a hands-on experience, the 4th part is experience. And that's actually on the job. You have to know what fittings to use. Whether to use a 90-degree angle elbow, a 45-degree elbow, because it depends on what you use.
You are trailblazers because I think we're looking at a new industry here in the Virgin Islands, but not just with energy. With the healthcare area, through the efforts of the delegate, we'll soon also have technology breakthroughs that are completely different, and new opportunities will come about. With the 1.3 million that we just got with broadband approval, will open up information technology areas. So what you're doing is letting people know that it is okay to take the risk, it is okay to go through the training, and that the opportunities will be there. You are showing government at its best, that the Department of Labor can work with the St. Croix Education and Career Technical School, that the VI Energy Office can work with EDA, and that EDA can make sure we have a program that has very little documents required to make sure the private sector has customers that can go. And then the risks that those in the private sector will take to make sure that this program is a success also is an indication that investment is worthwhile. So today, I salute you, not just because you are graduating on this energy program, but because you are going to make believers of this entire community. With the 50% rebate that's now going to be available very shortly, with the 30% income tax credit under the stimulus program, there is a pent-up demand in this community to lower cost of energy, to lower the income in terms of being able to have more disposable income, and you are the ones that are going to do it.